It's something you probably do every single day. You push a button, and this whole world of information just springs to life. But have you ever stopped to wonder what's really happening in that silent, mysterious gap between the click of the power button and the moment your screen lights up?
Think about it. It's one of the most common things we do in modern life, but it's this hidden, high-speed ballet of hardware and software working together perfectly. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain.
The official term for this whole process is booting. And that name is actually pretty cool. It comes from the old saying, to pull oneself up by one's own bootstraps. It's just a perfect metaphor, because that is exactly what your computer is doing. It's starting with absolutely nothing and bringing itself to full consciousness, all on its own.
To make sense of it all, let's just think of it like a person's morning routine. It really breaks down into 5 key steps. You've got the initial jolt of power, a quick self-check, tapping into its basic instincts, waking up the main manager, and then finally, getting ready for the day. Let's walk through each one.
All right, let's start at the very beginning, that first spark of life. The second you hit that button, the power supply sends a jolt of electricity to every single component. The motherboard, the processor, the memory, they all get this sudden wake up signal. But, just like you don't just leap out of bed the second your alarm goes off, the computer doesn't just start working. First, it's got to stretch. And that stretch is technically called the power on self-test, or POST for short. It's pretty much the computer's version of you waking up, opening your eyes, and kind of wiggling your fingers and toes just to make sure everything's still connected and working before you even try to get up. So what's it actually checking for? Well, it's asking these really basic questions. Hey, is the RAM responding? Is there a keyboard plugged in? Can I even send a signal to the monitor? If any of these fundamental checks fail, that's when you might hear those weird beeps or see a strange error message. It's the computer yelling, hey, something's seriously wrong here before we even get going. Okay, so the computer's confirmed all its limbs are working. Now it needs to access its most basic, deep-seated instincts to figure out what to do next.
So once the POST gives the all clear, the computer's processor starts looking for its very first set of instructions. And this is where a critical little piece of software comes in. It's called the BIOS, or on modern machines, the UEFI.
What's really fascinating is where this BIOS lives. It's not on your main hard drive with all your documents and games. Nope, it's a tiny program that's permanently stored on a special chip right on the motherboard. Its only job is to handle the absolute first hardware operations and, most importantly, to know where to find the real brains of the operation. I absolutely love this analogy. The BIOS is like the computer's lizard brain. It doesn't know how to run your web browser. It doesn't know what a file is. It has no idea about any of that stuff. But it has one primal, unchangeable instinct: find the operating system and hand over control.
And that handoff, that's the main event. It's the moment the computer truly starts to become the useful machine that we know. Right, so the BIOS's job is pretty much done. It scans your storage drives, your SSD or your hard drive, looking for that much bigger, much smarter piece of software, the operating system. And the operating system, or OS, is the master conductor. Your Windows, your Mac OS, your Linux. This is the software that manages absolutely everything. It tells your files where to go, it tells your programs how to run, it tells the mouse how to talk to the screen. It is the manager of the entire company.
Think of it like this. All your programs and all your hardware are like guests arriving at a hotel, all at the same time. Without a manager, it would just be total chaos. The OS is that manager. It stands at the front desk, efficiently checks everyone in, assigns them resources like memory and processor time, and just makes sure everyone can work together without causing problems.
We're almost there. The manager is in the building, the lights are on, but the hotel isn't quite ready to open its doors just yet. A few final things need to happen.
So, once the operating system is loaded and in control, its first job is to start kicking off all the essential background services and startup applications that you rely on every day.
This is that final flurry of activity. Your antivirus software wakes up to protect you. Your Wi-Fi and audio drivers activate so you can actually connect and hear things. Your cloud storage starts syncing your files. And then, the grand finale, your desktop, your icons, your wallpaper, they all appear.
And that brings our whole morning routine analogy full circle. This is you, putting on your clothes, grabbing your coffee, checking your phone. You're awake, you're functional, and now you are officially ready to start your day.
So there it is. From just a simple press of a button, we go from raw electricity to a hardware self-check, to the lizard brain BIOS finding its instructions, to the Manager OS taking control, all the way to your startup apps getting you ready to work. It's an incredible journey that happens every single time.
The big takeaway here is just the sheer complexity that's hidden in that simple action. It's a beautifully choreographed dance that happens in seconds, transforming a lifeless box of metal and plastic into this powerful tool we use for everything.
So now that you know about this whole hidden world, how about taking a little peek inside for yourself?
Here's a little challenge. The next time you turn on your computer, as soon as it starts, try tapping one of the common keys, like F2, delete, or escape. This can often take you into that BIOS lizard brain screen we were just talking about. Now, the golden rule is just look, don't touch. Don't change any settings. But it is a fascinating glimpse into the very first thoughts your computer has, right before it truly wakes up.